I'm in this place where I just feel like I'm dying internally, and I'm just like, what kind of God would let
like that?
Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Completely Christine. My name is Daria Christine, and welcome. My next video, I'm going to describe more about what to expect with this channel of ours, and also just tell a little bit more about me. But I know I should do that in the first video, with this being my first video, but there's a method to my madness. So I know me, I know that I don't like to watch very long YouTube videos, so just because maybe like my attention span. But first, you already know the whole YouTuber spiel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Not only those three, but make sure you share this video as well, because I really believe that this video is going to help at least one person. And so it is up to you to share this video to ensure that that one person is helped. So getting right into the video. The only way that I can really tell this story is by giving like kind of a summary. That don't know me, I am a PK. If you don't know what a PK is, that is a preacher's kid or a pastor's kid, whatever your definition of the P is. So born and raised preacher kid, and I know those that know me, by looking at this title, I know y'all probably already like,
girl, what? What is going on?
And then I know there are some people that read the title and clicked on this video and they're like,
yes, girl, I don't believe in God either.
whatever end of the spectrum you fall on, this video is for you all. So listen closely as to why I had stopped believing in God. When I started to start having unbelief or like doubt, all of that kind of stuff, it started when I was in college. I started college right after high school, 18 years old. But even before college, I was already kind of dibbling and dabbing into what most believers or Christians call the world. So you're not living a righteous life, basically. I was like basically on the fence. Like I was going to church all the time, again, participating in church, born and raised in church, so I'm always at church. This was before I went to college. Before college, I was exposed to alcohol, I was exposed to marijuana, weed, whatever you want to call it, secular music, listening to rap, R&B, all of that. Even though I was like exposed to those things, my consistency with being in church is what kind of kept me like grounded, so that I wasn't like all off and going completely crazy, you know. And like after I got to college, I mean, I went away in college, and I can only speak for myself, but college for me was a lot more freedom. My parents weren't like super strict. I was naturally a homebody before college, so it wasn't like I was sneaking out like trying to do these things. Like I just had friends that had access to these things, so whenever I was with them, I also had access. So they weren't super strict on me because I didn't want to go anywhere anyway. As I went to college, it was a lot more independence, and so that could be a good thing or a bad thing for some people. For me, you know, I just kind of met it in the middle. I went out and did whatever I wanted to, but I made sure I was in class the next day, pretty much.
If I felt like it.
So after I got to college, that's kind of when these things that I was already previously exposed to kind of grew more, kind of grew bigger, you know. And this time I wasn't like as grounded. I wasn't like, okay, I'm only doing this, like back in, like when I was in high school, it was like, okay, I'm only doing this like literally like maybe once or twice a year. Like more than likely it was once, or no, senior year it was more than once. But going from that once or twice a year, like a school year, to it being more repetitive, college life, I'm away, it becoming more repetitive, like every week type of thing. And then sometimes I wouldn't go home on the weekends. So whenever I went home on the weekends, of course I went to church, just because it was like still in me, like that's what I'm supposed to do on Sundays, you know. Sometimes I was tapped into church, but then it was like other times, like later on down the line, as I kept on drinking, smoking, partying, like it was me going from college back to home, like college back to home. Like I could feel myself distancing myself more and more from God because of these other things that pretty much got in between us, that I allowed to get in between us. You know, like when most people think of people not wanting to drink and not wanting to smoke anymore, they think that they had a bad experience. But it was, with me, it was just like, I'm like, you know, I don't want to drink or smoke anymore, because like deep down I feel like I really should not be doing this. But at the same time, it is what it is, just to be completely honest. There were times where I did try to stop, where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna drink anymore, I'm not gonna smoke anymore. I was a party animal, so I loved to kick it, I loved to party, I loved to dance. I was at every function, I was in there, okay? You saw me, I was on the scene, okay? And I really loved, I don't want to say I fell in love, but I got addicted to that atmosphere. With that atmosphere, I'm like, if I'm gonna be in that atmosphere, I have to be drunk, I have to be high, period. There's no way that I can go into these parties completely sober. Like, that's dumb. I'm not doing that, that's dumb. So yeah, then there were times, like I said, there were times where I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna smoke anymore. I don't need to be doing this. And every time that I said it, that I was like, I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna stop because I want to. I'm very like strong-minded, and like, if I say I'm gonna do something, if those words fall out of my mouth, then I have to do it, and I'm going to do it. So that's how I am. Like, I'm a woman of my word. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, that is what I am setting my mind, my heart, everything to. Like, I'm going to get it done. So with me saying these things, like, I'm done drinking, I'm done smoking, but I will find myself back drinking or smoking or partying. I will find myself back in these places where I said that I was done. With me, it was so, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it was just so frustrating. Because it's like one thing, like, number one, you don't want to disappoint people at all. But for me, like, I don't want to disappoint people. Of course, I don't want to disappoint my parents, and I don't want to disappoint my family, friends, you know. But with me, it's like it hits harder and it hits different when I begin to feel like I'm disappointing myself. So I was in that place where I felt like I was disappointing myself, like I'm not living up to my word. What is going on? Like, I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of not being a woman of my word. So with me not being a woman of my word, I became my worst critic. Just the thoughts, like, I just started like talking so down and against myself and bad about myself, to the point where I just began to think about different things all within my whole college career, and the things that I said I wasn't going to do, the times when I said I was not going to do something and I ended up doing it. So with these thoughts, with this going down memory lane, I actually began to hate myself. And it's crazy because the whole time where I did not like Daria, nothing about Daria, I did not like her, I'm still going around people and I'm trying to keep it together. I'm trying to be the strongest person that I can be. I'm still trying to encourage people. I'm still trying to be the best friend that I can be to others. I'm still trying to be this person that I do not feel like I am anymore. And I'm trying to do this without crying. I'm not gonna cry. So I graduated a semester later than what I was supposed to. So it was like junior/senior year. So I was going home every now and then. Of course I was going to church, but it just did not feel the same. Like it felt like I felt so disconnected, like deep down, like internally, I felt so disconnected from life in general, like from people, from life, like with the people back at church, with God. I did not feel like myself. And it was hard because I began to realize that the place that I'm in, or the place that I was in, I hated that place. But the hardest thing was I didn't know how to escape it. That was the scariest thing, that I'm just like, I don't know how to get out of here. Literally imprisoned and trapped, but you're still functioning and you're still going around, and like it was scary because it was like I wasn't me, and I was like forcing myself. I was trying to be the person that everybody knew when I was around people. It was like a whole mask, like it just, but I'm laughing and I'm talking and I'm engaging with people and everything. On the inside, I'm just like, help. I said I wasn't gonna do this. Like the whole time, I did not know how, like I felt like I was just like suffocated. Like I couldn't, I don't know, like, and so I'm in this place where I just feel like I'm dying internally, and I'm just like, what kind of God would let, oh crap. And so I'm just like, what kind of God would let somebody, if I'm your child, why would you let me struggle like this? Why are you leaving me here to die? Like, why do you have me feeling like this? Why is this not, what is going on? You supposed to be God, get me out of here, you know? And so like, I just felt like I was just so low. I was at the lowest of lows that I've ever been in my life. Like hating myself, wondering where God is. Drinking is no longer just what I do for turning up purposes, party. Drinking turned into a numbness for me. Like, this is my numbing agent. I'm at home, in my apartment, at school, just drinking because I don't know what else to do. Now I'm drinking out of, like, to suppress how I feel. Like, it was just not I was not in a good place. And I didn't have, and I know that I'm saying like I'm still being myself or whatever, but I never opened up about this to anyone. I never told anybody that I was going through this. I just became so numb. in life, like with life in general, I was just so numb. I was just so numb. And this is like this is like in 2014, end of 2014. I didn't know how to open up to anyone. I didn't know what to say. I literally got to a place where I didn't care about living anymore. Literally having suicidal thoughts. I would have suicidal thoughts, but I never had any suicidal attempts, but I had suicidal thoughts. I knew that I would not be able, I just know that I wouldn't be able to do an actual attempt. But so then the thoughts and the hopes of something, literally something bad happening to me. Like, I'm just like, I wish a car would hit me right now. Like, literally just take me out. I don't care. I don't want to live anymore. I can't do it. So I need somebody else to just literally kill me, please. Like, that was literally where I was. And trying not to cry. I was just really just in a horrible place. And I didn't want to kill myself, but I did not want to live. I did not want to be alive. And I didn't want to be alive. I didn't see any reason to be alive. For what? Like, I was literally in such a deep, dark ditch. Like, I'm at rock bottom. It ain't no way that I can come up from now. I give up. That was literally, I was in my apartment in 2014, December of 2014, and I literally was like, I give up. I literally said, like, I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't care what happens to me. I'm in the lowest of lows mentally. I can't escape my mind. I can't escape these thoughts. I hate myself, and that's that. I don't know what else to do with me. I hate me. I remember, like, sitting on my couch in my apartment, and I was like, I give up. And I did just that. And then I went, I think it was like a couple of days later, I went to the movies out there. I remember it was an action movie, and I remember it was like really long. And it wasn't until like towards the end of the movie where I just like couldn't sit still. Like, it was like something in me. I just literally could not sit still. And so, like, I was like moving, and I was just like, I had got like uncomfortable or something, like out of nowhere, like sitting in, I think the movie was literally like 2 hours long, and then literally towards the end, it was just weird. Like, I just could not, like, I was so like irritated or something, I don't know. And so then, like, as soon as the movie ended and the credits started rolling, I like jumped up, like, bro, I don't know what's going on. I grabbed my keys and I just went home. And it was literally like, as soon as I opened the door of my apartment and I got in, and it was like a push. Not like somebody like pushed me hard, but it just felt like heavy on me, like a heavy drop. And so, like, I fell to the floor, and I was literally like in a prostrate position, and I just started bawling. I just started crying out, and because it was literally like the weight of the Lord just like overtook me. And so I just started crying. Like, I just automatically like just started crying to Jesus. Like, I just knew to talk to him. And so I'm on my floor in my living room crying, praying, like not even praying. I was just literally talking, like bawling, and it was just telling him everything, like how I've been feeling for these last couple of years, and then like me just apologizing to him, and then it was like the Holy Spirit was like, now you apologize to me, and now I need you to apologize to yourself. You didn't know that you were getting yourself, what you were getting yourself into. You are not the reason to hate you. Like, you're not the one that you should be hating. You shouldn't hate yourself, you know? And so then sincerely apologizing to myself, sincerely apologizing to him, and I was just like crying, and it felt so good though. I remember I was like, you know what, my life is yours. And he was like, so back when I said, like, I threw my hands up, was like, I don't know what else to do, I give up. And it was like in that moment, he had told me, like the Holy Spirit had told me, it was like, I needed you. That throwing your hands up is a sign of surrenderance. That's what I needed you to do. I needed you to throw your hands up. I needed you to because my problem was, I needed to control my life. Daria wanted to have complete control over Daria's life, and that ain't how it works. So with me throwing my hands up, it was a sign of surrenderance. It was a sign of me taking my hands off the wheel, and as soon as I took my hands off the wheel, that gave the Lord the opportunity to grab control, to grasp hold of the wheel, and I've been riding with him ever since. And I find myself sometimes, and he even knows me, because sometimes I get a little stubborn still, and I just be like, okay, my hands are off, I'm done, I'm sorry, my bad. Because I had literally, I had to, the reason why I was in such a dark place was because I was trying to control everything. And I don't have no control over my life. I didn't give myself life. And so that night on the floor, I died. I died right on my living room floor. But when I got back up, I got up and I was a whole new person. Ever since then, ever since I got up off that floor, I've been running with Jesus from then on. And so I stopped believing in God because I thought it was his fault that I was in such a deep, dark place. But it was really what I had allowed, and what I had allowed the devil to do with me. I had allowed him to get in my ear, telling me that I'm worthless, telling me that it ain't no reason to live, making me hate myself to the point where I did not want to live, where I could not even forgive myself. I had allowed him to grow, to overpower my mind, to overtake me, almost overtake me. And